Hello everyone, welcome to week 4, module 3 and lecture 3. The topic for today is micronutrient. Micro, which means small, that means human body needs very small amount of this nutrient, but it is more important than macronutrient. Macronutrients that we had earlier chapter, carbohydrate, protein and fat, that we need more but less important than macronutrient. So micronutrients you need in a milligram or sometimes microgram amount per day of each of them. We'll discuss that later. So let's move on to this section, this module, this lecture, which is micronutrients. And micronutrients is, as I said, more important than macronutrients because it has more function in the human body, and most importantly, we are mostly deficient of micronutrients. Human body should be fine without macronutrients for a certain amount of time, but without macronutrients you definitely get sick, definitely get deficient of nutrient to survive of your day and to continue your day successfully with a full energy and of brain functions and hormonal stability to maintain your homeostasis level. So first I will go over the housekeeping. Housekeeping, that just as a reminder that every week you have three activities in the discussion activity, which is every Wednesday by midnight you going to submit your initial post on the discussion activity, and every Friday you're going to reply one of your classmates, and by Sunday another reply. So you'll be following throughout the week all the activities from your classmates and keep replying, and the last reply you do on Sunday. And quiz also due on Sunday by midnight, which is Pacific Standard Time. I'm in Houston. Houston is Central Time, so Pacific Time is 2 hours less than Houston time. If you sitting from sitting in like New York is 1 hour more than Houston, which is Eastern time, so you have to adjust your time according to Pacific time. And coming week will not have any lecture. Next week will be our popular press article. Make sure you keep reading all the articles we are posting for each chapter, and pick a chapter, prepare yourself to review and write a review article on the next week. I'll be definitely discussing about that on the next lecture. And let's move on. First of all, objectives of this chapter is structure, function and source of micronutrients, and then we will identify what kind of food have those kind of micronutrients and how can we maintain optimum diet to get enough micronutrients of them. And then what is the strategy, what can you do to reverse the deficiency of those micronutrients. And finally we'll go over how to consult someone have this kind of deficiencies, and how do you deal your patient, your friends, your classmates, your relatives, your family member, on the top of them, how to take care of yourself if you or anyone suffering this kind of problem. We talked earlier chapter that nutrients are two types, macro and micronutrients. Macronutrients, protein, carbohydrate, fat, we discussed earlier chapter. In this chapter we'll be discussing about the micronutrients, which is vitamins, all types of vitamins, and minerals and water. So micronutrients are divided into two sometimes divides into three. First one is vitamins A, B, C, D, E, K, P, H, couple of more types. And then minerals are sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, magnesium, zinc, cadmium, whatever you can name of human body need, more than 20 minerals. And they're the essential. The total minerals human body need almost 63. And the water, you all know that water is very important for human body survival to function and everything. If you see that this kind of fruits and vegetables actually containing most of the micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and they have water too. In earlier chapter, we talked about this, carbohydrate source. When you pick our carbohydrate source from a plant base, we get all types of vitamins and minerals and then and water in a same source. But we talked about that we have to change different types of vegetables. We should not be having same plant, same vegetable every day. So if you change it, all types of vitamins you can take from only plant-based sources. So micronutrients need very small amount, we mentioned earlier, but is very more important than macronutrients. So micronutrients need milligram or microgram level. For instance, milligram means 1/1000th gram, and microgram means 1/1000th milligram. So that is very small, tiny amount that human body need. Among the vitamins, one is water soluble, which is C, B, pH. B have itself 18 types of vitamins, B1, B2, B3, and each of them has its name. So C, all types of B's, pH are water soluble, and fat soluble are A, D, E, F, K. We'll discuss about that later. Minerals are two, macrominerals, which is the major human body need, and micro we need less amount, that is called microminerals in terms of mineral classification. In a summary, why do you need vitamins and minerals? We need vitamins and minerals because to regulate enzyme activity, maintain acid-base balance, assist with strength and growth, play a vital role in producing different blood cells, mineralization of bone, contraction of muscles, hydrating human body, components of enzymes, metabolism, production of hormones. So these are the top list of that function of vitamins and minerals, but it has a numerous, it is unknown. We don't have exact blueprint, but these are the top functions are completed, are done by vitamins and minerals. Look at the bar chart in here. This chart showing that calcium is the one we need mostly, then phosphorus. So how much it's in a gram. So you see calcium we need 1200 grams, and then phosphorus, and then potassium, then sulfur, then sodium, so and then chlorine, and so on. So this data is done, studied by one of the research group, but not supported by other data. But as far as my understanding, these are the most correct data they published. So I'm going to show you. I'm showing that to you for your understanding. Macrominerals, which is more essential, as I said earlier, is calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium. These are the major and most essential among the all types of minerals that human body need. We'll be talking about function of each of them in next slides. First of all, calcium. Calcium is a vital. Calcium is extremely important for human body, for our energy production, for our strength of bones and teeth, for our normal function of our muscle, blood clotting, nervous system, which is the most important part of human body, and deposit the soft tissues to harden them, play vital role on heart function and blood sugar. And unfortunately, most of the people in the world, and more importantly in the developed countries, people are suffering calcium deficiency. In United States, we are suffering more than 50% people. One of the research saying that 70% American people are suffering calcium deficiency. Why? We don't have sources. We do, but we don't know the right sources, and we are not intaking right way. That is the reason we are calcium deficient. One other thing is we take calcium only from some sources. Calcium has 100 different types. 6 of the calcium are vital. So if we take only milk, or if you take only broccoli for calcium, you don't get all types of calcium. So calcium, as I said 100 types of calcium, and 6 of the types we need as a most essential. So we need to take all types of calcium sources like nuts and beans and milk and soybean and fruits and yogurt, all types of things we need. So we need different types of calcium to fulfill our deficiency. So sources, as I mentioned earlier slide, green leafy vegetables is a mostly calcium sources. Even though people sometimes think the milk and nuts are more, actually no. Green leafy vegetable have more calcium than the other, and fish have a lot of calcium, but fish has to be from the wild caught, from the ocean, from the saltwater fish, because salt have a calcium and fish get absorbed with that calcium, and fish is full of mineral, with many types of mineral, but calcium is the one of them. And then cabbage, broccoli, dairy product, eggs, nuts, beans. Animal product we mostly trust for calcium, which is true though that animal products have a calcium, but not the vital, not the mostly. Plant-based source is better calcium source than the animal-based calcium sources. We need more than 1000 milligram per day, but if we can get more, it's going to be pee out from the body. If you get less, body can survive for a certain time. But the situation that we are in, sometimes we don't even take calcium at all. We don't take saltwater fish. We don't take healthy salt. We are not taking plant-based food. We're not taking green leafy vegetables. So we're kind of deficient because we're not taking calcium. That's the first thing human body need. And because of calcium deficient, what happened? We're very weak. Our bones are weak. We're feeling appetite. We lost our appetite, and all kind of problem. Also, the generation we are in, when people get older, they get joint pain. They get joint pain. They get fatigue. They get anemic. They get they don't have energy. Also, they get bent. Some people their finger get bent, their back get bent because lack of calcium. Bone absorb cadmium, which is a toxic metal, as a calcium. As a result, that person bone get deformed and get bent, couldn't even stand up properly when you get old, because when people get deficient for a long time, deficiency makes people sick at the end of their life. That is the dangerous, and as you see that in the older community, older people. Phosphorus is another important. Phosphorus is extremely important for formation of bones, teeth, and body fluid. cell respiration. Also absorbing the nutrient phosphorus can help. It needs 700 milligram per day. It, according to research, we should not go by exact number, because body should be managing and correcting and adjusting by itself if you take less or more than that. It about this rule for every mineral, every vitamin. So our goal should be as much we can, absorb as much we can, take more is going to get out of your body. If you take, if it is water soluble, because water soluble are the vitamins which is soluble into the water, and if it's soluble in the water, it can, excess of that amount can urinate from our body. It can urinate out. But if you get less, no problem. Our body can manage it for a certain time. But problem is that we are deficient of mineral for a long period of time. We don't get healthy sources. We don't get enough healthy plant-based food. We don't get enough healthy nuts, and milk is toxicated. And fish from the ocean, we don't even have the idea. We don't even think about that fish has to be from the ocean. In the lake or farm, they put in a lot of steroid and quickly get bigger, and they don't get mineral. They're not grown naturally. They're not fed with the true food, but chemicals and harmful chemicals and metals and steroids. So those fish are deficient of nutrient by itself, and they cannot nutrify us. So you have to go back the natural source, which is saltwater fish, wild caught or ocean caught fishes, to supply the nutrient that we need, all kinds of minerals and that we've been talking about. So phosphorus sources are different types of grain, egg, fish, and then bone broth. You can take a bone broth, is very important. You should take as much you can. And then potassium is another mineral very under studied and under thought, than what actually need. Human body need 4,700 milligram per day, but people in the different parts of the world mostly deficient of this potassium. Itself in United States, people on average taking only 1,500 milligram per day. So imagine day by day they are how much deficient there. And lack of potassium, blood pressure gets high. It affects right away. The hair get we lose our hair, and hair gets brown. So all types of problem and energy problem coming from lack of potassium. And as you see, I have a couple of deficiencies I mentioned in here. Adrenal fatigue, hormonal would not be functioning properly if you have adrenal fatigue, which is lymphatic system is not working properly, and muscle cramp. People always complain about the joint pain, body cramp, and weak bone, kidney stone. You see where kidney stones coming from? The young men, I see a lot of young people. There is stone need to take out from this kidney. That should not be the right way to do. So because of we are potassium deficient, and potassium found mostly in the green leafy vegetables and fruits, and then different types of grain found in the plant, and which is growing underneath. That is important. If you think about magnesium, magnesium is another important element. Magnesium we need to maintain acid-base balance, metabolism, carbohydrate, and sugar. So we get diabetic, then we blame, oh, you eat too much because you get diabetic. No, you are diabetic, or you develop diabetes because you have been deficient of magnesium, who supposed to be processing your sugar. And adult need 420 milligram per day, but without plant-based food, we don't get that. And if we go with that for a long time, we definitely get deficient. And sources are nuts, vegetables, grain, mineral supplement also could be option, but mineral supplement always not the best option. Should be natural supplement. It gets natural format, body can absorb better than the supplement format. Sodium is needed for human body, definitely, but we need only about 13 to 1500 milligram per day. But in average population in the world taking more than 5000 milligram per day. Imagine we are highly excessively intaking this sodium, because any processed food they need to put extra sodium. Sodium is the one people get intoxicated, so we need to be careful. Sodium intake, we should not be taking processed food, they must have excess sodium, and it has many good functions. It does. So I'm not talking about the deficiency, because people mostly sufficient or excess of sodium. So we need to get we need to cut down the sodium level. And lack of sodium, yes, when people get anemic, people get dehydration, people get diarrhea, they get dehydrated, then quickly get sodium deficient, and they lose energy, the heart doesn't work properly, they feel depressed and appetite, and in that case they need to put salt therapy to get that symptom better. The mineral we need less amount is called microminerals. I would not recommend you to memorize them, just know their names, who are the one we need less amount. And less amount doesn't mean that it's less important. It is we need less amount, but we need this mineral as we need microminerals. So they are iodine, copper, iron, selenium, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc. And people who are iron deficient, how big problem it is, you know better than I do, because iron deficient people could not produce enzyme properly, people could not produce RBC, red blood cell. Also lack of hemoglobin binding, lack of iron, hemoglobin doesn't bind. Because of that, body cannot transfer oxygen properly throughout the body. And metabolism and waste, digestion, metabolism, also eliminating waste from our body is not done properly. And lack of iron, people get stressed, people get hypertension, stress and disease, and high cortisol formation, hormonal imbalance. There's a lot of problem comes up when you have iron deficiency. Human body need tiny mini amount, only 10 to 15 milligram, but that cannot be absorbed. Even this amount cannot be absorbed because of vitamin C. So what I mean that to absorb, to balance iron level, you need to have enough vitamin C. Vitamin C is the one help absorb iron, and otherwise, no matter how much iron you're taking, even though you're pilling iron supplement, iron pill, that might be support you for a few hours. But if you take vitamin C from the right sources, then your iron level will be balanced by itself. You don't need to take iron pill, because food we take, most of the food we have iron, even meat have iron. So what you need to do, improve vitamin C, then balance iron, then you will see your fatigue, weakness, stress, imbalance with the cortisol and other hormones, everything going to be normal. Also the sources for iron, of course, leafy vegetable and legumes and meats and nuts and all types of animal organs mostly have iron as well. But instead of focusing on iron sources, when you have iron deficiency, we should be focusing on vitamin C. And vitamin C is found in green leafy vegetable. It has to be fresh, and then orange and mango and guava, all kinds of fruits, they have vitamin C. And zinc is another important. We're talking about the iron deficiency, anemia. So it affect in our life with a mental and physical capacity. it reduces our mental stability, especially when someone is pregnant. It is very dangerous if that person is anemic, because that affect in your breathing, mental stability and energy, and then hormonal balance. If you infant and children, they will have a lot of problem. I have mentioned few in here, like their cognitive development. Their brain will not develop properly. They will be easily mad, angry, cranky, and they will have low immune. If you have low immune, the kids will get diarrhea, bloating, ear problem, ear infections, and fever and throat problem. All kind of problem will be shown up when the kids or infant have a iron deficiency or anemic. How can you prevent or control anemia? As I mentioned earlier, vitamin C and iron, folic acid, vitamin B12 rich sources. Also, someone is anemic should not drink coffee or tea because it flushes out iron from the body. Even the regular person should not eat more than 1 cup of tea, otherwise they will they will deplete all types of mineral levels, especially iron. Iodine is another extremely important. Without iodine we cannot develop thyroxine. So our glands, lymphatic system, like a thyroid gland and then all other gland, would not be able to secrete enough hormone to balance your metabolism, to balance your homeostasis level. So iron is extremely important. It found in sea fish, seafood, cabbage, anything. Mostly sea food has iodine. Also something grown, they also have a trace amount of iodine. And without iodine, people suffer goiter, hypo and hyperthyroidism. Also mental instability, all types of problem. So iodine should be intaken carefully and seriously from the seafood and plant-based sources. Manganese is another important. Without manganese, people suffer lack of hormone production and bone development, skeleton development as well. So deficiencies are, people could give, someone pregnant could have abortion, low fertility, and all other some types of problem. Nuts, whole grain vegetables should have manganese. So vitamins are also important. Let's talk about the vitamins that we have. There are many types of vitamins, but top 13 vitamins are we consider as essential. Another thing is vitamins are organic, but minerals are inorganic. Vitamins doesn't have any calorie. These are essential micronutrients, and mostly it works with the physiological and psychological functions. We'll be talking about different of the vitamin in a moment. So first of all, classify. If you classify, one is water soluble, one is fat soluble. Water soluble vitamins are which dissolve into the water and cannot be stored in the body. For instance, vitamin B, it comes of all types of different types of sources. These vitamin B we take every day, and if you have excess, it's gonna be flushed out from the body every day by by urinating, by sweating, or many ways. But fat soluble are absorbed by the fat. So imagine someone trying to be fat-free diet. He cannot absorb this kind of vitamin A, D, E, F, K even though he is taking vitamin sources. So we need fat to take fat soluble vitamins. So difference are basically two. Why it is soluble? What are soluble vitamins? Like which is B, C, pH, dissolve into the water. Fat soluble A, D, E, F, K dissolve into the fat. So water soluble vitamins are vitamins you need to take every day, because body doesn't know store, body cannot store them. So every day you need to take every day. Imagine someone could not have all kinds of grown plants for 1 month. So for 1 month that person body develops as a faulty body. The brain or the muscles and bones and organs are faulty. So they don't store in the body. But fat soluble like vitamin A, D, E, F, K, you don't have to take every day, because fat can absorb it, and liver can store them for a while. Like someone living in the city or area, they don't have enough sunlight, so they can store vitamin D for the time when they don't have sunlight. And someone, for instance, is deficient of vitamin K. So vitamin K mostly found in nuts. So for instance, there is many other sources too. So they take nuts for 7 days. Other 7 days they don't have chance to eat nuts. That should be okay, because vitamin K is fat soluble like A, D, E, F, like other sources, and they can store in the liver for certain time to supply your body. But vitamin are B, C, pH, you need every moment, every day. So should be every day your meal has to have enough plant-based grown plant food, so that you can supply every day as you need regularly. So fat solubles are, as I said, stored in the liver, and fat tissue are the one who absorb. And these kind of vitamins found mostly oily and fatty types of foods, and long-term deficient is going to be a many health problem. So first of all, vitamin A, among the fat soluble, vitamin A is the first one. It found all kinds of colorful vegetables, and take a look, green leafy vegetables, colorful, different color, had different types of vitamins A. And for the deficiency, people get night blindness, dry eyes, people takes all kinds of cardiovascular problem, infections, dry skin, acne, lack of vitamin A. And toxicity is very high. If it is someone take very high amount of them, it will gonna form some toxicity, but that should not be a problem if you have a other types of nutrients are available, body can balance. Vitamin D is another one. It's extremely important. Without vitamin D, your hormonal production, body balance, energy, cognitive power, and heart function, everything will be disturbed if you have vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is found all the fatty food. So imagine someone try to avoid fatty food, they don't get vitamin D. And vitamin D found fatty food doesn't mean that fatty food have vitamin D. If you get fatty molecule like cheese, milk, eggs, and fish, and you can take them as a pre-vitamin D, and sunlight can change that pre-vitamin D into the vitamin D. That's how it works. So, but there are some sources you can get direct vitamin D directly, which is wild-caught fish, like grass-fed cow cheese. This kind of like some nuts, organic nuts, is a properly grown nuts have some vitamin D as well. As you see, read out the slide. It talked about how you can did more about what I say. This is the picture that I have, how we take all kinds of fatty substances, milk, butter, and cheese and fish. Then after digestion, it goes to our intestine. Through intestine, it go to the liver. That's what it is. We learn in first module that every nutrient we absorb that goes through intestine to liver, and liver supply that nutrient or as a free vitamin D, which is the cholesterol, into the, as you see in the picture, into the skin. So under the skin they get cholesterol from fatty substances, and when UV light from sunlight, when you get UV light from sunlight, that UV light convert this cholesterol into vitamin D. Sometimes you have a misconception that that vitamin D may be in the sunlight. No, sunlight, UV light convert cholesterol under the skin into vitamin D. So if you don't get sunlight, you don't get vitamin D, because who is going to be transforming your your cholesterol to vitamin D? So you need to have fatty food, you need to go to sunlight to balance your vitamin D. Without vitamin D, your brain will not function properly, and then your energy will be low. You will have a heart disease. You will have a indigestion problem. So all kind of stuff we need to be careful when you're talking about the vitamin D. And vitamin D, how much you need? A small amount, but you should take regular basis if you are deficient. You can have plant-based proper natural vitamin D pill you can get, but the problem is if you are deficient of vitamin D, if you are feeling low energy or indigestion problem, make sure you take vitamin D regular basis. But the pharmacy that we have around the world, people have synthetically made vitamin D, especially D3 that you need all the time. That is more dangerous than not having vitamin D, because this is chemically synthetic format. Body cannot absorb it. It's gonna make you more harm than not having vitamin D. So what you could do, you can get natural plant-based vitamin D3 if you feel weak, if you have a digestion problem, if you have a brain function problem. That would be helpful. The picture I have in here, you see the top above the red mark. We don't have northern part of United States and Canadian whole area, we don't have enough sunlight. So people live in this area, you need to have vitamin D3 pill throughout the year, especially in the winter time when you have less chances to get sunlight. Vitamin E also important, very important. It is a it's an antioxidant. It works as a detoxing the human body. You need 15 microgram per day, and its sources are plant and fatty sources and soybeans and corn, seeds, nuts, whole grain. It also available in different types of animal products as well. And vitamin F is also important because it is our human body temperature, keep us warm, keep oxygen circulated throughout the body, and especially women need it. The number one source is carrot. You have to have a properly grown carrot. Carrot has a vitamin F. There are many other sources for vitamin F. For instance, different types of nuts like seeds, walnut, almond nuts, peanuts, and sunflower seeds. They also talked about avocado. Also research showing that some sea fishes have vitamin F as well. Vitamin K. Vitamin K is another most important vitamin. Vitamin K are two types, K1 and K2. What they do is it helps blood clotting and proper bone function. It is also important to absorb calcium, and our bile function need also vitamin K. This vitamin K we need regular basis, and someone is suffering any types of indigestion, fatty food digestion, or kind of heart problem, they definitely need to start taking vitamin K pill, and because otherwise they will have heart problem more and more. Because if you don't have enough vitamin K, they will not be able to absorb calcium, and they ended up the calcium gonna store into the heart to get a heart problem or heart plaque. So because of that, we need to have enough vitamin K throughout the whole year. And if you don't have it, make sure you take pill if you have a heart problem or any types of energy problem, because without calcium you don't get energy, and you don't without potassium, sorry, without vitamin K, you don't get calcium. So it's kind of every minerals and vitamins are so much connected. So you need to be careful. You need to have all kinds of plant-based sources food to maintain the level of vitamins and minerals which is micronutrients that you need. Water soluble vitamins are, first of all, B, all types of B and C and P. So you see that B itself has many types, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's many types, and each of them have its own name. So, and they are very important because every types of vitamin B has its own function. Otherwise, you'll be deficient, and you should be consumed every day, all different types of sources. And also you shouldn't have enough caffeine that will deplete vitamin D from the body. As you see, different functions of vitamin B. Vitamin B, it produces energy, is regular body cell division, cell function, and kidney function, and detoxing body, and all kinds of liver functions. Vitamin D is important. And again, the sources are similar, different types of produce and plants and lentil and legumes and yeast and eggs and dark green leafy vegetable seeds are the source types of vitamins B. And vitamin B12 is mostly important among the all vitamins B's, because it found only in the animal fat. So we need to have animal fat to get vitamin B12, so which can support us deficiency. And without vitamin B12, you cannot function, you cannot do our regular daily function. For instance, people get older, they get vitamin B12 for the long period of time. And somebody is vegan, complete vegan, like some kind of Indian people I see, people who are fully vegan, they get heart attack all of a sudden. Even the president of American Vegan Society, Mr. Jatin Shah, he got heart attack in his office without any symptom, all of a sudden in June 20, 2008. So that's how dangerous it is with not having animal fat. So we need to have some animal fat, of course healthy animal, once in a while, to get enough vitamin D, vitamin B12, and other nutrient that you need from the animal fat. So without vitamin B12, we get Alzheimer, we get dementia, and all types of heart problems. So animal fat is also important, but should be very small amount. As you've seen here, vitamin C. Vitamin C also a format that's called ascorbic acid, and it needs 90 milligram per day to maintain its regular functions, to support organs to absorb the minerals and balance the nutrient that human body need. Lack of vitamin C, you can get all kind of infections. You can get you can get anemic, you can get weak, as I said, because of the lack of calcium. So the sources are fresh vegetable. You can blend it out. If you cook, vitamin C doesn't stay, as a vitamin C, it dies off. So fresh, blended, green leafy, colorful vegetable are the one source of vitamin C. Also, among the fruits like guava, papaya, mango, kiwi, these are the top sources of vitamin C. And all citrus fruits have vitamin C, but citrus fruit vitamin C doesn't stay more than 7 days. So you have to pick and eat within 7 days, and then you can get enough vitamin C. And within 7 days later, you get actually zero vitamin C. You might enjoy, buying orange from the store, but it doesn't have vitamin C because they picked it up maybe a month earlier. So vitamin C already died when you eating that. And so vitamin C is very important. Let's go to the water. I'll not be spending that much time on water because everyone knows that water is extremely important and how important it is. People, feel realize that when they don't drink water. But the point I like to mention to you that no matter how much water you're drinking, if you don't have enough micronutrients, if you don't have enough salt, which is minerals, you cannot store water in the body. You're drinking is gonna pee out. You're drinking, you still get hydrated, because like a cell, the cell should be surrounded by a lot of mineral. If you don't have the mineral, cell alveoli cannot absorb water inside the cell and makes body hydrated, makes body hyper, makes human body is lack of energy and regular function. So you need to have enough micronutrients balance in the body, then drink water, then you should be able to function properly as you need. And as you see, human body, how much water you need? Minimum 2.7 liter at least, and 3.7 liters for the man. And if you take more than that, not a problem. Like someone can 10 liter of water, they can function fine. That's okay. Maybe he's working outside, maybe the athletes, he needs 10 liter of water. So minimum 3.7 liter per for the men, and 2.7 liter for the women we need, and there is no upper limit, as much you can take. According to WHO, World Health Organization, there are 5 key to be healthy. First 4 is good, and as you see, breast milk, varieties of food, plenty of vegetables and fruits, eat moderate amount of fat and oils, everything is good. But look at the last one, eat less salt and sugar. So sugar, you can eat less when you don't want to gain weight. But salt, you cannot eat less. Salt means all the minerals. If it says that white salt, that's okay, because you need to control it white salt, because white salt only have one salt, which is sodium. That sodium is people taking excessively. But if you talk about all kind of salt, it is wrong, because human body needs salt. We need to take white salt every day. Even in my personal life, I require my kids to take white salt, to take whole salt, which is pink salt, black salt, Himalaya salt, rock salt, Celtic salt, any types of salt, whole salt which have more than 80 minerals. Everybody should take as a raw whole salt, small amount per day, to balance your salt need. If especially someone has a heart problem, someone is suffering with high blood pressure, or dehydrated or weak, that person is suffering imbalance of salt. Then taking salt every day can save that person to get out of that problem. You see the nail can tell you how you are malnutrition. Sometimes you see some white mark, sometimes you see the broken nail, sometimes you see this damaged nail. All types of sign is showing that we are nutrient of salt, we are nutrients of our major minerals. Also, if your face is becoming becoming like colorless and pale, that in vitamin B12 deficiency. If someone have dry and brittle hair, vitamin B deficiency. Someone have a pale lip and tongue pale, that means anemic, iron deficiency. Someone have puffy eyelid, that means iron deficiency. Someone is gum bleeding or gum crack, that's called vitamin C deficiency. Vitamin B12 deficiency also, there is a many different sign like a weakness and heart problem. Someone have hair loss, that means vitamin D deficiency. Someone have a night blindness, that is vitamin A deficiency. So by looking at different signs from the face, from the nail, from the tongue, from the hair loss, also we can diagnose your patient or your client what kind of deficient he or she is. That could help you to suggest what that person needs to get better health. One more thing is when you get deficient mineral, you need to look at what other thing you need to be considered. So we need to consider not taking processed food, because processed food depletes. Processed food, the toxicity bind with mineral, take out mineral from your body. So even though you're taking enough mineral sources, micronutrient sources, vitamins and different types of mineral, they will not stay in your body if you take processed food, because processed food, body do not digest it. It is stored as a toxicity in the body, like a processed carb, cereal, bread, cookies, etc., and cake, pastry, burger, sandwich, and pie and pizza, stuff like that. And processed, canned, and packaged and frozen also have lots of toxic chemicals. Because of that, you should be depleting mineral from the body. And bottled juice, soft drinks, energy drinks have a sugar. They don't tell you, but they do have a sugar. If you know how to analyze, you can analyze that they have a tons of sugar. You should be careful with these kinds of processed food. They will deplete your minerals that you taking from the food that you have. So this should be avoided. Now you have options. You can either choose mineral-based food, or the way our life is, most of the human population is going through the shortcut processed food, easy, simple, cheap, and we don't spend time on. We don't need to spend time if we want to take this kind of processed food. If you want to take plant-based, healthy, mineral, to nutrify ourselves for the for the micronutrients that human body need, we need to choose that route where you can get all types of minerals and micronutrients to save ourselves from the disease, to nutrify ourselves, and to make healthy and disease-free. And finally, I have things to say that we need to have all kinds of plant-based whole food so we can get enough micronutrients to grow, develop, and function our body properly. We need to take whole food diet so to prevent and heal diseases. Food sources are better than supplement, because a lot of time we try to get supplement instead of taking whole food. So if you have a deficient, look at that, what you're deficient, and take that sources from the food. Also, if you think about how much you need, you should not worry about it. Take all different types of sources and consume all types of plants, or all types of vegetable, all types of legumes which is grown, and all the sources in different types and different amount. Body will be balancing by itself as you need. But one thing is, when it comes to micronutrients, like say vitamins and minerals, you need to consume every day, because you took today, tomorrow you don't have it anymore. If you have excess, it's going to be coming out of your body. So you need to take every day. But comes to fat soluble vitamin like vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin and vitamin E, those you can take as available. But when it comes to vitamin B's and C's, you need to take every day. because that's, you cannot store in your body because water soluble. It gets out of your body. That's all I have for you to say. And if you have any question, please feel free write in under the comment, and I will be definitely try to reply your question. Also, feel free to email me. My email address should be given under this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next class. So in this class, make sure 3 discussion activity, take the quiz and read the articles. Also, be engaging with your classmates to learn better, to become a successful and proudful nutritionist. Thank you very much.